I'm so nervous.
What's it called?
We don't know.
First. Second truth loses.
First.
Oh, she thinks that's hilarious.
Okay, it's called First Lie Wins.
Dun dun dun.
I don't know why I bought this book, how it came into my possession. Literally no memory of it, but I know people have talked about it and said, like, this is a really good book. So I bought it. And I never read it because it's a Reese's book club and I struggle with that. But
Yeah.
It's
this
a what
one,
book
I don't know if we'd be friends with Reese Witherspoon. We don't usually like her books.
Reese Witherspoon wrote this book?
No. She has a book club like Jimmy Fallon does his book club or Oprah does her book club.
Didn't know that any of these people had book clubs.
Well, now you do.
Welcome to Planet Earth.
Let's take a poll. How many people knew that Oprah Winfrey had a book club?
Literally everyone.
Literally everyone about Oprah. The other ones I can get past. Oprah invented book clubs.
Agreed.
She did?
Yes.
She didn't invent book clubs.
Yes. Very much so.
Like she's had
Oprah
one
did?
since like the 90s probably.
Yes.
You're telling me book clubs were invented in the 90s?
I'm saying Oprah's was.
It's like celebrity book clubs.
Like if it had Oprah's stamp on it, it was like, damn.
Yeah.
That's a good book.
Wow.
The more you know.
Didn't know any of that.
But this book was actually really good. Reese finally did something right.
Reese Witherspoon. Is she the prom queen? You know that song?
No.
Reese Witherspoon, she's the prom queen. Bill Gates, captain of the chess team. Jack Black, the clown. Brad Pitt, the quarterback. Seen it all before. I want my money back. Ding, 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 ding. The whole damn world is just as obsessed with who's the best dressed and who's having sex.
I get it. I got
High
it now.
school never ends. Bowling for Soup, High School Never Ends?
No recollection.
You've never heard that song?
I have heard that song.
Then why are you acting like you haven't?
Took her a second.
Yeah.
Click.
Whatever.
She hasn't heard your version of the song. Okay, so when I first started reading this book, did not read the synopsis. I started reading this book and things would happen and I'd be like, oh, that's suspicious. Oh, I don't trust her. Oh, she's such a stalker. Like all of these notes, and I was actually writing notes in the like margins. And then by like chapter 8, I was like, what is this book even about? And the synopsis is like, Evie Porter, is she really Evie Porter? And it's like from the beginning, you know, to be suspicious of her. And I was like, oh, this is like common knowledge.
I'm doing exactly what the author just told us to do.
Yeah, from the beginning.
Okay.
So that's the main character, Evie Porter. She
Evie
is
Porter.
new to the area, but we don't really know why.
And what area?
Louisiana.
Oh.
Roll Tide.
Nolans.
Is that Roll
Is that in
Tide?
Louisiana?
Or is
Isn't
it?
Let's skip that part. Edit that out.
Or keep it in if I got it right.
New Orleans is in Louisiana, right?
Yes, yeah. That part is right.
For some
I'm
reason,
talking
I
about Roll
thought
Tide.
Roll Tide, is that not Texas?
I feel like it's Georgia.
I don't know.
None
I probably
of
should
us.
know.
All of us failed.
Who says Roll Tide?
Alabama. That's
Yeah,
what
so
it
put
is.
your guesses in.
It's Alabama, for sure.
It is the University of Alabama's athletic team's fame.
As soon as you started typing it in, I was like, oh, duh, it's Alabama. So, sorry, Louisiana.
And
Go-
North Carolina.
Go
and-
Mardi Gras.
Anyway, Louisiana, Evie. Is Evie really Evie?
No, I'm going to say no, not a chance.
I'm gonna say she is. Just gonna go the unsuspected route.
And where did she come from? Where did she go? How did she get here? We don't know.
All right, let's place our bets then.
Right.
Dr. Seuss.
Cotton Eye Joe. So, she's dating this guy named Ryan.
Okay.
They met because she had a flat tire pulled off and was like, I don't know how to change a flat tire. Sir, can you help me?
Should I be suspicious of everything you say?
Everything
Like,
Evie does.
Okay, was that not planned, Ryan? Type of vibe or no?
So this is what I was doing. I was like, oh,
Okay.
was it really like a meet cute? Like all these things. But the thing is, when we find out this information, she's at dinner with Ryan and all of his friends, and they're kind of giving her like the third degree. Like, because she was like, well, how did you even meet? Like, they're kind of like,
Suspicious.
yeah.
That
And
one was
she
okay.
was like, oh yeah, he helped me change my flat tire. But then like, she doesn't say this to them, but in the book it's like, little do they know I was watching Ryan for weeks before.
Dang, creepy Evie?
Yeah, so I was like, stalker? Yep. So yeah, we are suspicious of Evie.
Okay.
I picture Ryan as like Logan from Gilmore Girls. Like, very charismatic.
That's the
very,
I know.
very rich, very much a ladies' man, very like business savvy, like, you know, right? Yeah. Was in a fraternity, has this core group of friends, like, every damn time. That's how I picture him. And his parents, his dad died when he was like 10, and I don't remember what happened to his mom. His grandparents recently passed, so he inherited everything. The business, the house, everything. So he's very, like, he's doing well for himself. He works for a brokerage, and then he has, like, this side gig that's this, like, trucking company.
That's a side gig?
I just own a trucking company on the side.
And to keep myself busy.
I don't know how well known it is that he runs a trucking company on the side. Like, I don't know if people in the community know that.
How old is he?
The
30s?
Probably.
Okay.
Don't remember. So yeah, that's them. And they're moving in together. Evie's moving into Ryan's home. Okay? They've been dating for a few months. Things are progressed. Even if the friends are like, whoa, this is kind of fast, because Ryan's like quintessential player, one night stands, like, is not a relationship.
And now all of a sudden he wants to settle down.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yep, why? Okay, but Evie a little bit drags her feet on the move-in process, because he's like, okay, I'll hire like a moving company, because he's like Daddy Warbucks, right? She's like, cancels it the next day, or things like that.
Is that where the term daddy comes from? Like calling the guy daddy?
I don't.
Daddy Warbucks?
Maybe.
I don't know, but maybe.
Cool.
No, because it comes from sugar daddy, right? But where did that?
Yeah, probably. That's probably.
Where did that come from? Anyway, who cares?
Okay, so Evie's a little bit dragging her feet about moving in, and Ryan's like, what the hell? Come on, Evie, let's move in, right? So Evie's like, okay, I'm going to take the day off. I'm going to make it happen. I'll see you later. So she goes and she rents an apartment.
On her own when she's moving in? Freaking Evie.
Okay.
First of all, that's not financially sound, but whatever.
She got a sugar daddy.
She had been living in a hotel room, but she doesn't want Ryan to know that, so she rented an apartment for a week.
So she could load her crap in and then be like, oh, here's where I live, and then move out?
Yep.
Interesting.
And so she goes and buys like shampoo and conditioner, and then like pours half of it down the drain, so it like looks lived in. And then she comes up with this story like, oh, Goodwill's gonna come take my stuff and donate it because your house is fully furnished, so we don't need my old crappy couch, my old crappy bed. Really, she doesn't have a crappy couch or bed. It's just all like a facade.
And how expensive to be living in a hotel? Invest.
Moral of the story is trust your friends' first instinct, because all the friends are like, who are you? What do you want? You just sus. And Ryan's like, what?
What?
So then after work, Ryan's like, hey, I like rescheduled the moving company, and Evie's like, oh, I don't actually think you need that. I donated everything. We can just go get the boxes right now. Let's do it. Okay. So he goes and he sees like this like fully empty apartment that like looks lived in. Okay. Mm-hmm. So her story is very believable.
Well done, Evie. Well played.
Okay.
Maybe she's a spy.
Evie Barishtical.
Yeah, she's
And
from...
Ryan's company is harboring terrorists.
Ooh. Anyways, Anna.
I've been binge watching 24.
Okay, so then she goes to this event. She goes to this derby. Derby?
Roller derby?
No, like betting on the horses, big huge hats, like a derby.
Like the Kentucky Derby.
That's what it's called, right? Actually. So she's Ryan's girl, like it's like the first time they're kind of like doing this like public, like, oh, Ryan's with this girl, she moved in. And they meet Ryan's friend, James, who kind of has a rough past, got involved with drugs. You know the story, right? And he's dating somebody named Luca. Now here's the problem. Evie is not really Evie.
Okay.
Her real identity is Luca.
Okay. Hold on. Evie is dating Ryan. Why did I want to say Jack Harlow? Is dating Ryan. Ryan is friends
with
James, who is dating Luca.
Who's not really Luca.
Who's actually Evie.
Who stole Evie's real identity.
Hold the phone.
Get there faster.
Someone stole Evie's identity?
No, Evie is not really Evie. Evie doesn't exist. She is really Luca Mariano or something like that.
And she's pretending to be Evie.
Yeah.
And so now she meets Ryan's friend Jake, who's like, hey, this is my... James. This is my girlfriend Luca Moriarty, or whatever.
And it's the same person?
And she's like, you have my name, what? You stole my past life.
Okay, I get it.
So this Luca is all, like...
So Evie...
is not really Luca.
Yeah. So Evie's not double dipping.
No.
She's not dating Jack.
No, but Evie and Luca, fake
James?
Evie, fake Luca, very similar.
Weird.
Look-wise, okay? And Evie freaks... That was aggressive.
Hurt my brain.
Freaks the freak out. Because Luca showing up is not just a coincidence. Okay?
I would imagine.
Is there a third woman involved in this? Hold on.
It's okay. She's going to tell us.
Alright.
Okay, we find out Luca has...
Who's actually like Bailey or something. Probably.
No, actual Luca. We don't know who fake Luca is. We never find out her real identity.
Okay, so now you're not going to refer to her as Evie anymore. You're going to start referring to her as Luca.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be...
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be such a mess. Just stay with me as this.
I need someone to write this out. Hold on.
Give me the whiteboard.
Okay.
Hold on.
We never find out fake Luca's real identity,
So this
don't
one's
worry
fake
about
Luca.
that.
My question is,
I will do better about explaining.
Evie is Luca.
Yes.
And then you said Luca, but am I referring to now Evie or am I referring to imposter Luca?
I will do better. Okay?
Right.
So, Evie, which is real
Luca.
We have a flashback to when she is real Luca.
All right.
And she's in high school. Her dad is not in the picture. Don't remember why. And mom is sick with cancer.
Oh.
Terminal. Okay? They live in a trailer home, and money's tight. And Luca picks up odd jobs when she can, and she starts realizing, oh, like if I get jobs at these rich houses, I can steal small things like jewelry, sell it on the black market, get some money to pay these medical bills, do these. So she kind of starts her path of felony. Okay? It gets to the point where she's like upping the ante, and she's helping out at this party, and she gets one of those, I don't remember the name, but it's like those card readers where it's like anytime you run the card, it like saves to a database. Mm-hmm. Why are you smiling?
Because when you said felony, all I can think about now when I hear felony is how it would be a cute name if it wasn't actually a word.
Didn't have a meaning.
Yeah. I was like, felony. It's like, anyway, keep going.
So one of those card readers, okay? So she's at this fancy event, plugs in her little device into like the card thing, whatever, and she's like, oh my gosh, this is it. I'm gonna be set for life. Anytime somebody runs their card, I'm gonna have their information, and I'm not gonna buy like $60,000 paintings. Like I'm just gonna do little expenses here and there, and I'm gonna have all of these cards so I can just like rotate through, and they're never gonna catch on. Except she gets caught, because when they ran the card, the like piece fell out, and then the actual workers were like, what is this? That is weird. Looks at the other card readers and was like, that doesn't have it. We don't know what this is. They call the cops, figure out it's a fake, figure out it's Luca, real Luca, not fake Luca. She gets caught. Okay? She's busted. She's going to be arrested. Okay? Headed to the cop car. And
if you can't do the time, don't do the crime.
So she's headed to
start small.
Yep.
You're like, shut up, let's get to it.
So then a detective comes and's like, hey officer, whatever, big guy called. I'm actually supposed to take Luca in. Thank you, okay?
Officer lets Luca go.
Yep. And
Really?
Yeah, the detective is like, call this number. He hands her like a burner phone. Call this number. See you later.
Holy Toledo.
So,
Dang.
Luca calls the number, and the guy on the other side, this like machine, is like, I've been watching you forever. You're good at what you do. I want you on my team. With my support.
And this is like a recording or like a robot-y voice?
Yeah, robot-y voice, yeah. So he's like, with my support, like, you'll have the resources you need to not fail. And look, I got you out of this situation. If something like this happens again, I can get you out again. Like, join my team.
Dang.
So the cop was a dirty cop.
So she's a spy, kinda.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I'm nailing this. For not knowing what's going on, I'm crushing this.
You knew more than me when I started reading it. So, Luca joins his team. So now
And becomes Evie.
we figure out Luca, real Luca, hasn't been real Luca for like 8 years. She just does these like jobs for this guy, and each time she's on a job, she has a new identity. So her new job is as
Evie Porter.
So now
But it's just temporary.
until
Temporary.
until the Mr. Smith is the boss guy, gets whatever he needs.
Interesting. Okay.
Her job right now is to befriend Ryan, date Ryan, get in with Ryan, gain all this information, but she doesn't know exactly why. She just knows she needs to gain information on him.
Well,
See Daddy Warbucks in this. He got money.
she don't fall in love. She don't catch feelings because Logan Huntsberger is awesome.
It is awesome.
I don't know who Logan Huntsberger is.
Ryan.
Logan from Gilmore Girls, aka Ryan.
We're complicating it.
We're trying to help you.
I'm sorry, my bad.
This is hard.
We need a whiteboard. I need like stick figures, like a puppet show.
Logan? See, Logan's not even a real character. James?
James is such a minute part of the story.
As is. Wait, is fake Luca minute?
You'll find out right now.
Alright.
So the whole story is like Evie, and then a chapter will be like a flashback to a job she did. So like she'll have a new identity each time it's a flashback.
Oh.
And it's hard. Yeah. So like I'm going to kind of like not tell you guys the flashbacks because there's no way I would remember everything because I didn't take notes. But like one of the flashbacks, she was a nanny and she had to get this like flash drive from the owner of the house. Another one, she had to like steal this painting that was like heavily secure. Another one, she was working for this like senator who was going to be the governor, or governor going to be the senator, I don't remember. And he like they were trying to get dirt on him. Like she just all these odd jobs. Okay. And each time it's like a different, like her goal is different each time, like what she's trying to like acquire. Ryan's trucking company is a legit trucking company, okay? But it's also like one day a week, the trucking company like does the illegal like sell things on the black market. So that's how he has so much money, and that's what Mr. Smith is interested in. He wants Ryan's company. He wants to like buy him out. So he's hoping Evie will like get him good to like get him information, and then Mr. Smith can like blackmail him and then gain the company. That's what Evie's trying to do. Okay? Luca is there to freak Evie out, which works.
Yeah.
Okay? The reason why Luca is there is because Evie is in hot water with her boss.
Mr. Smith.
Because the previous job was unsuccessful. She royally messed up, and now this is like her last chance. And like in this industry, if you mess up, you're dead. Like this is literally her last chance. And so Luca is kind of sent as like a reminder of like, you work for me, don't mess this up.
I can end you.
I know who you really are.
Yep. So Luca and James, fake Luca and James, come over to Evie and Ryan's place for dinner. Luca, fake Luca, is on a job, supposed to find out everything about Evie, supposed to get close, and is like, when she's at the place, she's like rummaging through her things and sending in any information she finds to Mr. Smith. And Evie the whole time is like, okay, we work for the same guy. I know this.
Does fake Luca know? Okay.
Because it's like Evie, it's like, I just get told to do this, and I don't know why.
Yep.
But Evie knows.
And Evie actually confronts Luca at the dinner and is like, hey, so...
How's Mr. Smith?
Basically, yeah. And Luca freaks out and was like, what? Like, you're not supposed to know? The night ends super awkwardly, super tense. Wake up the next morning, fake Luca and James are dead.
Both of them?
Oh.
Darn.
Okay? And Evie knows that it was Mr. Smith. Luca's job was to get under Evie's skin. It worked. Mr. Smith no longer had a need for fake Luca. So he killed her. Okay?
But what about James?
I know. Bummer, huh?
Sad.
Casualty of love.
Poor Ryan.
I know, he was actually really upset about it. This is problematic for so many different reasons, but one reason it's problematic is because Evie always knew eventually she would get out of this industry and go back to being Luca. But
now Luca just died?
She can't, because now Luca just died. It's all over the news. There's this big investigation. Luca very much made a name for herself in this community, so anyone in this community was like, knows that Luca died. So now that identity that kind of just like before was just like non-existent because she left it is now no longer an option, because if she tried to take that back, then it'd be like, wait, you died, okay?
You died, Luca, yeah.
So that's a little problematic, okay? So Ryan is very good friends with James, which means he knows the family. They go over to comfort the family, to offer their help, and the cops are there, of course. So the cops are like, oh, you're the last ones to see.
How did they die, does it say?
Yeah, they drove off the road.
Oh, okay.
And like fell off a cliff. Police question them, and now the police know Evie as Evie, her full name, her backstory, which before she could just show up and be like, oh, I'm Evie. I could go to a party and be like, my name's Betty, and no one would be the wiser, but when you tell a cop, then it's like, oh, they know my information. The next day, cops come and arrest Evie.
Mr. Smith making it known he's in control here.
Her previous
alias.
I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. Her previous, alias went totally wrong. And the person she was supposed to get close to, her name is Amy, died in a fire. And now the police suspect Evie is the reason she died in the fire. Where before it looked like this big accident, and Mr. Smith made it look like this big accident. Now Mr. Smith is orchestrating it where it's like, Evie might be involved.
So was her name? Her name wasn't Evie on the last job.
No, I think it was Maria. She had so many names, I don't even remember. But no, it wasn't Evie. It was a different name. Okay. So she's in the police station, and one of Ryan's friends is a lawyer, so they hire Rachel as her lawyer. And under client privilege confidentiality, Evie's like, okay, so here's the thing. Evie Porter was not there. And Rachel catches on and was like, but aren't you Evie Porter? Who were you back then? Like, she catches on. So even now Rachel's like super suspicious of her, okay? And Evie, like, things aren't looking good. Like, they have video evidence, they have picture evidence, like, things are not looking good for Evie. But Evie tells Rachel, call this guy, he owes me a favor, he'll let me out, and then we'll figure it out, okay? So one of the jobs she had done was with Andrew, who was senator, governor, trying to be senator, governor, something politician. They were trying to get dirt on Andrew Marshall. There was no dirt to be had on Andrew Marshall, but she was able to get blackmail on all of these other politicians.
Wow.
And one of them was a judge that she got blackmail on. So she was like, hey, remember that favor you owe me?
Get me out.
Now's the time to cash it in. And Rachel's like, oh my gosh, that worked. What? How did you do it? Now she's out on bail. But she has to go to Atlanta because that's where the suspected murder happened. And she has to meet with the police Friday at whatever time. Okay, so Evie's like, okay, I will be there, but I got some things I gotta do before I get there. And Rachel's like, no, like, you're
This
not
should
just
be your
leaving.
top priority.
Yeah. And Evie's like, no, you gotta trust me, I'm going. And then Ryan's like, okay, well then I'm coming with you. And Evie's like, no, you're not, but okay. So now they're on this road trip. When Evie was trying to get out of having Ryan come, she mentions, oh, but if you come with me, you can't go to work on Thursday. Thursday is when Ryan goes to the trucking company and does his, like, I almost said what's it called? Black market stuff, okay? He never misses Thursday. That's like, he has to be there. Big deal, okay? So when she brings it up, Ryan's like, I have my secrets and you have yours. I'm willing to tell you everything, but you go first. And Evie's like, nope, okay, let's go on this road trip. Because she's like, I can't tell you anything, right?
And it would put him in danger too.
Mm-hmm. And Evie's like, I already know your secrets. Like,
yeah, true.
like, you don't need to tell me something I already know. So they're on this road trip, and the first stop they make is to, I want to say it's LSU. No? Oklahoma? Don't remember. They go somewhere. And they stop by this football coach. And she's like, hey, way back when, like 6 years ago, you got out of your contract so that you could start this new career. Hello, hi, I'm the reason that happened. My boss hired me to like get in good with the boosters, figure this out. So you're welcome. Now I need money. And the coach is like, who are you?
Mm-hmm.
And no, like I was wrongfully let go. You had nothing to do with this. Mm-hmm. And Luca, who's Evie right now, is like, are you sure? He's like, get the F off my property. And she makes this huge scene like, you have all this money, you got all this money from your contract, you can't even spare any, like makes a big scene, okay? Causes ruckus, okay? But she didn't really need money. She needed to get on his property so she could plant something where when he was close to it and he opened his phone, it was like they could like link to his phone.
Okay.
I don't understand technology. I also should mention, I say they because along the way she's kind of collected people to like help her out. She's only collected one person whose name, what the hell? What is his name?
That's like in the car with them now?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Morris? It's not Morris. Monty? It's not Monty.
Morgan.
Michael.
I don't remember his name.
Martin.
Tech guy. Evan. He's the tech guy. So he's the one that like gave her this, hey, if you like somehow connect his phone to this, then we can see everything he's doing. Because they're banking on the fact that this coach, will reach back out to Mr. Smith to be like, what the hell? One of your guys came. What's going on? And that's exactly what happens. Come to find out, whenever they're contacting Mr. Smith, there's like this chat room that they go on. This is huge because now Devin has information needed to find Mr. Smith's true identity.
Oh,
All right.
Okay?
Suck it, Mr. Smith.
So this is what Devin's working on while Evie is trying to not go to jail.
And she knows Devin from a past alias thing.
Yeah. She needed help with something tech, found him online, and then anytime she has a job, they've just partnered up, and now they they trust each other fully. Okay? So now they're at the hotel, Ryan and Evie. And Ryan's like, hey, I'm gonna go get pizza, I'll be right back. And Evie's like, hey, I'm gonna shower, it's been a long day. And then she has a headache, and so she's like, oh man, like I should just go to like the little like motel convenience store or a vending machine and just get like the overpriced, right? And as she's going, she hears voices. Okay? Ryan is talking to somebody named George.
Georgie.
George is this UPS delivery guy, is this bellhop that shows up at any job that she's doing to deliver anything that she needs. So like when she was on the Andrew Marshall case, she needed like surveillance of Andrew's room because they were going to try to get him to cheat on his wife. So then they had like blackmail on him. So like George was the one that delivered that technology, things like that. So they've kind of built this like camaraderie. They're like not quite friends, but like they always know like, oh, George, like good to see you. Like I haven't seen you in a while, right? But now she's like, what the hell? Why is Ryan talking to George?
On the phone or in person?
In person.
Okay.
So Evie's like, is Ryan
On the
Mr.
job.
Smith?
Oh.
What?
Okay.
Okay.
But then she's like, no, that's not possible because he was driving me on this road trip when I opened my phone and they were like talking in the chat room, the coach and Mr. Smith. So it can't be Ryan. What is happening? But Evie is very suspicious of Ryan. So she freaks the freak out, leaves, ditches him.
Oh.
Okay. Shows up at the meeting place in Atlanta Friday morning at the time that she was supposed to meet Rachel to talk with the detectives at the, like, everything's going to plan. There's just this lapse of time where it's like, what has she been doing during this time? Okay. Shows up and Rachel's like, what the F? I haven't seen you since you've been arrested. Like, we don't have our story straight. Like, if they ask you any questions, like, what are we going to do? And Evie's like, just let me handle it. Okay?
All right.
So she shows up, and the detectives are like, hey, we have some pretty damning evidence. Like, can you tell us where you were on this day? And Evie's like, yeah, I was with my friend who's this, like, famous football player. I wonder if he's a real famous football player, and I just don't know. Tyson something. Doesn't matter. She met Tyson when she was, remember how she got that football coach let go of his job? She met this football player. They kind of became friends, and so the detective's like, oh yeah, sure. And she's like, let me call him. FaceTimes him, and totally like the alibi checks out. Like, yes, Evie was with me this night. She was hanging out with me and my wife and my son. Like, I can verify because I have football every other night. Tuesday's the only night I have free. Like, there's no other day that she would come.
Famous, so they're like, yes, Mr. Tyson.
Yep,
yes,
exactly.
Cool.
Right? So then they show Evie the video. Okay? And in the video, you see Evie light a match, drop it on the bed, and then she's in a hotel, leave, and Amy, who she was, has died. Okay? And they had footage of this. And Evie goes, okay, I see it now.
Okay, I see where you're getting where you think
I can see where you think this.
That's not me. That's Luca.
Really?
Oh.
Because remember, Luca looked just like her. Luca's dead now. And the police are like,
oh. They're like, oh, all right. We're getting it.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
I don't know why I picture them as like old and like donuts, like stereotypical
and
cartoon.
When you pushed up your glasses, you didn't really push up your glasses like this. You just went, like, just itched your nose aggressively.
I was balding and with a mustache when I was doing this. And I have an eye twitch. I don't know why.
Holding your monocle. So she's basically off the hook. I mean, they're going to investigate and see if her story checks out, but they can't question Luca.
Yeah.
She did.
So basically, she was able to get out of a sticky situation, okay? So then she leaves, and she runs into Mr. Smith.
Oh, man.
In real life?
Who is George.
George is Mr. Smith.
She finds out his real identity because of the whole chat room thing. Devin's the goat. We freaking love Devin.
That's crazy.
And so, but
Does Devin know that does George know that she knows?
no.
Oh!
Okay? So the whole reason why Mr. Smith, his name's Christopher, but we call him George. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Wanted her in Atlanta is because this previous job she was sent on, she needed to gain information or proof that Amy had gained. Amy previously worked for Mr. Smith, gained this information, but was not handing it over to Mr. Smith. So now Evie was sent to get that information. Okay? Well, she killed Amy, and so now Mr. Smith is like, okay, where the hell is this information now? You obviously got it. And Evie's like, no, like, I didn't set the fire. This is the story she had. I didn't set the fire. She had a cigarette. She dropped it on some alcohol. I had to get out of there. I wasn't able to grab any of the information. And Mr. Smith is like, so why do you have a safety deposit box at the bank down the road? Let's go there now. You're going to show me what's in the safety deposit box.
Dang.
So they go, and inside is a little teeny paper crane.
Paper crane?
Yep.
Like origami?
Yep. Which has kind of been a theme throughout the story. Her very first job, she was a nanny. She taught the child how to make the paper crane. Her mom taught her how to make the paper crane. When she was blackmailing all of these politicians, she folded up the photos into a paper crane. Like, it's just kind of her thing.
It's like her mark.
Yeah. So
the mark of the crane.
Okay. The mark of the crane. So Mr. Smith is like, what the hell? Where is this information? Okay. So Mr. Smith was trying to get information for the Connell family. Come to find out, either Mr. Smith worked for them or they worked for Mr. Smith. Anyway, Mr. Smith was stealing like millions of dollars for them, and Amy had proof of this.
Oh.
So Mr. Smith needed this information so that he didn't get got. Well, Evie shared that information with them, so after they leave the bank, Mr. Smith gets in this black car, never to be seen again.
Oh,
Mr. Smith gone.
He got got, okay?
Okay.
So Devin, who we trust, is like, great job, you did it. You got off scot-free for the murder. You got Mr. Smith off your back. Here's your plane ticket. I'll see you soon. Okay? Goes to the cabin, and guess who's there?
Mr. Smith.
Ryan.
No.
Devin.
Amy.
Oh, Amy's not dead?
Amy's not dead. It was all a ruse. Okay?
Wow.
Devin is now dating Amy's sister named Heather.
Whoa.
Amy and Evie, really Luca, partnered up because they were both sent on like the same mission to get this art that was hiding in some rich guy's house, and it was heavily secure, and he sent like 6 different people. He, being Mr. Smith, sent 6 different people and was like, let's see who gets it first. Whoever gets it first gets this big payout.
Oh, wow.
Really what happened was whoever was unsuccessful, he was trying to clear house. He was trying to get rid of the weakest link, and by get rid of, I really mean like kills them. Luca was successful and left like a fake, phony decoy. Amy got the decoy. So Mr. Smith was like, okay, well technically you were both successful, so I'm going to keep you both around because you're both smart, you're both capable, like I need you still on my team. Well, Luca, who had Devin on her team, figured out there were other people, and Devin was able to figure out who else was on it. So then Luca went to Amy and was like, hey, we got to get out. We need each other. Orchestrated this whole plan. So they faked Amy's death so then Amy could get out. And then this whole time, the goal was to figure out Mr. Smith's real identity because they had the blackmail on him, but they had no one to blackmail. Once they figured out his identity, then they could blackmail him, got him gone. So now Evie is Miss Smith.
Evie running the show now, bitches.
Yep, and she is still with Ryan. They were able to like talk
Cute.
through the air. They're still together. And the end. Happy times.
Oh, wow. That was good.
I probably missed
This is for not taking notes on a story like that.
I probably missed so much though, but
that's insane.
there you have it.
The amount of characters.
I know. I forgot all of them.
You're incredible.
Way to go.
Mrs. Smith. I
Mr.
can't
and
believe
Mrs.
George
Smith.
came out of
I
the woodworks.
know. I know.
Also, like Mr. Smith, I pictured like this big like mob boss, like bald, like
Not some nerdy tech George.
And George is like this nice, like tall, skinny, like here's your package.
Yep.
And the fact that Mr. Smith, this guy with all this power, is the one delivering the packages, like, just came out of nowhere. That's crazy.
I know. I agree.